Hi, my name's Dee, and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and welcome to your new moon reading for the sign in the title below. Because it's a bulk introduction, which you don't have to watch every time, because I would say you really want to watch three of these. You want to watch your sun sign, which is the I am, your rising sign, which is how you are presenting to the world, what is happening in the outer world for you, and you want to watch your moon sign because, of course, it's the moon. It's a new moon. Of course, your moon sign would be relevant. Now, I'm not going to go in for long about the astrology of the new moon. There are plenty of astrologers who have done it far better than I ever could, and all of their shows are posted on my Facebook page for this channel, which link down below in the description. So if you're wanting to know about the astrology of it, you have plenty of astrologers to choose from on there. Suffice to say, it's big. It's a big full moon. There is a stellium in Aquarius. So what have we got? We've got Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, with Saturn ruling, in Aquarius. Now, it is not the age of Aquarius. I don't care what various people say. It is not the age of Aquarius, and as I've said before, the age of Aquarius will not begin until tropical, i.e. Western traditional 0 degrees Aries, is the same position as sidereal Aquarius. At the moment, it isn't. 0 degrees Aries is sidereally some of 22, 21, 22, maybe 23 degrees Pisces. So there's a while yet. I think that's right. I think it's there's a 22 involved in there somewhere. But anyway, it's in Pisces. It is not in Aquarius. However, this is a really big time of Aquarius, and there's no shaking that. We have numerous planetary synodic cycles starting. Let me bring my details up. So we've got just this week alone, and there's been a fair amount over the past few weeks, but just this week alone, I mean, bear in mind, this is all under the Great Conjunction. But we have a new Venus-Saturn cycle starting. Obviously, a new Sun-Moon, but that's a monthly one. A new Sun-Mercury, that's quite frequent. A Venus-Jupiter synodic cycle starting, Mercury-Venus cycle, and Mercury-Jupiter. So, it's very much, this is a new time coming in. Without a shadow of a doubt, there's all these new, some of those were that's all a lot of the personal planets, the inner planets. So they're small cycles, but we've just had all the massive big cycles, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Jupiter, Saturn, I should say, Saturn, Pluto as well. So we know they all restarted before Christmas. Before Christmas? I think they were all before Christmas. I should know that off by heart, shouldn't I? I talked about every single one of them. Now, there is a timestamp below, so you don't have to watch this repeatedly. You only have to watch this on the first reading. It's well worth it. What I want to look at is the angels, the degree angels. Now, I never thought I'd going to be an angel person. But the degree angels are the Kabbalistic angels, who are very traditional, mighty and terrible. So, of course, I'm drawn to them like a moth to a flame. Now, this new moon, 23 degrees Aquarius, that's ruled by Menadel, who most people will be glad to know that he's great for job seeking. So if the economy and the virus and all the economy crash and what have you has affected you, now is a great time to ask for some help in job seeking and redesigning what you want to do next, because that's a lot of this Aquarius stuff. It will exhibit in community with an independent streak, which may sound like a bit of an oxymoron, but I think I've got my head around that idea. Um, so you, a lot of it is internal right now that you will be later putting into practice. But that is, so Menadel, let me bring up my details here. You'll have to forgive me, I am referring to notes. I don't know all this off by heart. Menadel, as a degree angel, is seen as fearless and presiding over inner and outer work. And there's definitely this theme of the inner and the outer work going on with everything, everything that I've been looking at to do with this. Now, Menadel has been active. Let's have a look. Menadel was active last March and April, which I think was, let me just double check this. I think that was Uranus. Yep, with Uranus at 5 degrees Taurus. And then there was obviously Mars arrived at 5 degrees Taurus in January. And now Menadel is ruling 23 degrees Aquarius. Those rulerships don't change. I know the way I phrase that, it makes it sound like they do change, but no, they don't change. Now, Menadel here is like everybody being ruled by Saturn, so being ruled in this case by Luvia. Saturn is the ruler of this chart. If you do rulership chains, everything leads back to Saturn, mainly because everything's in Aquarius. Of course, I'm using ancient rather than modern rulerships there. You could say everything also goes back to Uranus, but Saturn and Uranus are in square to one another anyway, and that is the flavour of this year. That tension, that tradition versus independence. Now, Luvia is all about dialing God and expansive intelligence or fruition, although I couldn't find any more information out from the Dictionary of Angels because he's not in there, or she's not in there. But what I actually want to look at is Mahasya. Now, Mahasya rules 22 degrees Capricorn. So as you know, that had a lot of activity this last year. So today, or rather on the new moon, Mahasya is ruling the North Node. So is being ruled by astrologically the angel Rael, who is representing Mercury, or Mercury's degree, but again, then in Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, therefore ruled by Luvia in this chart. Now, Rael is about removing hatred, liberation. Rael helps to remove obstacles and impediments and to live in a universe without boundaries. Now, if that is not an Aquarius flavour, I don't know what is. So that also is just that one step less abstract than what Luvia is about. Luvia literally seems like it's channeling the divine plan that down into a way that not that we can understand, because we're never going to be able to understand that, but at least that something may be able to understand it. But Marcia, as I said, was in control of 22 degrees Capricorn. So last year, that's Menadel's history I'm looking at. Last year, Pluto was there. Jupiter crossed over it. Mars crossed over it very, very briefly. And basically, Mahasya was busy going from the 1st of January last year, because that's where my records start, that I've got programmed into my database. Then it was active from the 1st of the year to the 19th of January. From the 16th of March through to the 21st, again in July for a couple of days, then 5th and the 6th, and then the 10th of July, all the way through, and this will be through Pluto, Oh no, all the way through to the end of November, again on Christmas Day, again on New Year's Eve, I notice, and then, okay, my records aren't complete, but that's what I've managed to dig out so far. Mahasi has been doing a lot of work with the energies of Pluto, with, as that energy of Pluto was deconstructing and doing what Pluto does, Mahasea was adding her flavour to it. Then Jupiter crosses over, giving that boost to the Mahasea vibration. Then Mars. So giving that kick in the pants to the things that had already been set up. And now the North Node. This has all been constructing stuff regarding our density. Well, yeah, our density, if you speak New Age hippie stuff, but our destiny. Deconstructing things, reconstructing things, building things, changing structures, removing and rebuilding structures ready for this whole new time. Now, what is Mahasea's vibration? So Mahasea is about healing and rectification, setting things right. He's a seraph. He's part of the Sephirah of Kether, so that the highest Sephiroth, and he answers to Metatron, and he's a fire, represents fire. And planetary angels are Neptune and the Sun. His name means Saviour God, apparently. So this is what everything is slowly being built up. Hopefully that's expressing in all of us and all of our lives, where this Mahasea's energy is creating, building and moving and getting us to a place that is going to be better. That's the hope. I mean, obviously, it's reliant upon our cooperation to this, with this, and our openness to it. But it is really the way his focus has shifted from smashing things to now, okay, destiny, this way, I think is really quite beautiful. Now, what other information have I got about Mahasea here? He re-establishes the order of the divine in your life, makes it possible to live in total peace and joy, and to enjoy the simple things in life, and can help you into schools of learning where you can pursue forms of initiation. Now, that peacemaking energy is going to be very, very useful, because there's also all the divisions are being highlighted to us, but they are being highlighted because of this healing process. Now, what I want to look at is the symbols for 23 degrees Aquarius. So I'm going to start with the Sabian symbol, which is a man turning his back on passion and teaching from his own experience. So this is talking about someone who has been fighting their good fight, whatever it is, or having their obsession, and then all of a sudden they're suddenly going, I've learned so much from this, I have to pass this knowledge on. So they're transferring from, to be facile, but it would work in today's culture, from being an active social justice warrior to training active social justice warriors, would be one way of looking at it. I mean, you could replace active social justice warrior with carpenter, and oh no, that's still got that vibe, hasn't it? Okay, plumber, and it can, the message still holds true, but there's this sharing of information, this allowing those who don't know to find out and know, which I think, especially after focusing more on setting things right, we're going to need to know how to do lots and lots and lots of things. But what is really interesting is the inside degree, or the Chandra symbol. So we have a large brown bear picking and eating apples. It's like, okay, yeah, what? But the interpretation of this, I'm just going to read it straight out because you'll see why when I get towards the end of it. Gross indulgence and a conscience that just won't quit, saturating your energy field with exaggerated gestures of capitulation to your own lower nature. But you do this in a continual ironic juxtaposition to an observing intelligence and a keen conscience which deplore and have no use for your own shenanigans. So you're literally stuffing your face with chocolate while another bit of your brain is going, why are you eating all of that chocolate? It's not going to do you any good. So being split between the compulsive and addictive personality and the dispassionate and isolely removed consciousness, you're trying to turn yourself around by alternately binging and reforming, a bit like crash dieting. But each binge triggers a reaction of the other side of mind, and each renunciation and reformation in turn triggers a further reaction from the first piece of mind. This dialectic between being bad and being good is all on the pro and con level of the dualistic mind. The only hope in this pattern lies in wearing out both ends, so that a third place can open up in which neither acting out nor becoming exemplary is all that's necessary. You do what you do, and you see it the way that you see it. And all of the self-conscious overlays and each and every self-manipulation in whatever direction dissolve when the space is clear. So I know that I've mentioned on previous videos about how very divided we are in society nowadays. It doesn't matter where in the world that you look, there is divisions rampant, whether you want to say Democrat, Republican, Brexiteer, Remainer, look at Myanmar. But this energy, that symbol, that idea of wearing out both sides while we are learning how to do things better, because those who have a time to teach now are led to actually teach and teach everybody else, you know, whether it is how to get in touch with your angels and how to get in touch with God, or how to sort out a septic tank and sort out your plumbing, or carve a chair, or recycle whatever, or change the way that you're fishing, farming, hunting, what have you. All of these things, the very structure of our economy, as we know with the virus, is under question at the moment. And so there is going to be, and there is already to a certain extent, if you look at the right websites and email newsletters and what have you, a absolute cacophony of good ideas about how to move forward. All of this under the watchful eye of Luvia, who, let me see, what was the phrase again? Who has an expansive intelligence, brings things to fruition, and knows how to dial God. You know, so I would say that in itself is a superpower, you know. So if you if you are a fixed sign, oh, I've forgotten, where's my cheat sheet? Aquarius, let's have a look. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get it wrong. And it's not on my, fixed signs. Here you are, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio. On a basic mundane day-to-day level, you can expect to get affected by this stellium through conjunction, through square, through opposition. But pretty much it's going to affect all of us. This is a global thing. The last time this sort of stellium in Aquarius occurred was in 1962. And we know how pivotal the 60s were for creating a shift in our society, even if things seem to have shifted back since then. So if you are familiar with your chart, if you know your rising sign, and if you don't, there is a link, well, there's two links in the description down below for where to get a free birth chart. Have a look which house Aquarius sits in for you. I use whole sign houses, if that means anything to you. So for me, it's all in the 8th house. Or if you go by my sun sign, it's all in my 12th house. Oh, I'm expecting plenty of revelations coming along. And I must admit, my astrology studies have been just going, well, my degree angel studies, let's put it that way. I keep having moment after moment of, oh, I can do it this. Oh, I didn't think of looking at that. Oh, and what does this mean if I look at this? So there's like revelation after revelation already. And the new moon isn't even here yet. But there's whichever house you Aquarius is for you, that's where you can expect quite a bit of activity. If you've got natal planets in that area, opposite to that area, or basically in the cardinal signs, that will this stellium will have an immense personal effect. And again, that all sounds like random things, but go to the link Astroseek or Cafe Astrology in the description down below, and get yourself a birth chart, and hopefully you'll make more sense of if what I'm saying sounds a little obscure, because I'll hold my hand up. I'm only just starting to understand the houses in this last 6 months. Before then, I was just like, I don't know what they're talking about. Right, so I've done the saving symbol. I'm just checking my notes. So remember, this reading is a general reading. So general reading rules apply. It should mainly be there as a confirmation for you, or just something for you to mull over. What I would, never make your mind up on what I say. Just take it under advisement and then consider it, and then make your mind up, but don't just do it because I said do it. Even though I have already done a reading for this new moon where I'm telling somebody to just do it. But, it's still your choice, not mine. Now, what I would like you to do beforehand is ask a question. So especially really with this, ask a question that relates to how you interact with your community, or relates to obviously new moon, new beginnings, or entire new directions of life, because it's such a big event. This, unlike last year where it was event after event after event, this year, this is the pretty much biggest one. And other than Saturn square Uranus, but that's going on all year. So, there isn't like a whack bang like there is with this one. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you. Focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer whatever they choose, and not necessarily what you or I think are the most priority of questions. So, as ever, please do the good YouTube stuff. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel really, really does help. Then again, so does the like button. But more importantly, comment. Let me know once I get to the reading, what you, if the reading is good for you. But also let me know what you think about my view of looking at the degree angels for the astrology, because, well, I'm going to keep doing it because I find it absolutely fascinating. But I want to know, should I just shut up about it and do it in private, or should I continue talking about this stuff as I get to learn more? Because, again, hold my hand up, I'm a total beginner at this. So, I think that's everything. So timestamp will be for now. And let's get on and have a look at your cards. Okay, Libra. And if you're Libra rising, this is happening in your 5th house, where you have fun, romance, you create things that you are proud of, and you can consider it to be 5th house with the sun to a certain way if you go by the solar astrology. Now, I see that you appear to have reached a point of emotional resolution, that you see the way forward, that through this way forward, you are going to gain a harvest, gain abundance, gain fertility. And the fertility aspect of sowing some form of seed and having it multiply, you know, I was desperately trying to avoid that phrase, but seems to be the theme of where you're feeling. But even though you have this sense of, yeah, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with this, nothing's moving. And there seems to be some form of stubbornness in your way, whether it's yours or whether it's somebody else's. Because, again, general reading, roles can be reversed, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me say it before. Although I don't think I said it in the intro. However, how you're actually feeling, even though you're saying, yeah, I'm okay with this, I can see the way forward with this, is like, well, right now I've got nothing. We have the 5 of Pentacles clarified by the 5 of Pentacles. But that also indicates a sense of being so close to going into that church and taking shelter, gaining the guidance and the wisdom that you're after. But it doesn't... I can't help but feel that this sense of emotional resolution that you have reached, that really you're lying to yourself about. It really seems as if, okay, I've got to take this burden on. I don't want to take this burden on. I don't, there's some form of burden that you either have agreed to take on, or you are definitely not taking on whatsoever, no way, no how. And either way, it's causing you stress and anxiety. And nothing is moving. 4 of Swords opposing you. Now, what Spirit is going to be bringing in is movement. Movement's coming. Most definitely movement is coming, but not until you look at things differently. Because we have the Hanged Man here in the future with the 6 of Wands. Victory. But victory only when you are starting to see things differently. So I would question this point of emotional resolution that you believe you've reached, because with the deep inner feelings being double 5 of Pentacles, I don't think that... It's like you're making the best of a bad job and you've convinced yourself that that's okay. You are making the best of a bad job. And it is a bad job because you've got nothing. And I don't think that that's entirely accurate. I don't think it's an accurate way of looking at it. Now, there's been plenty of stress and anxiety as it was recently. And it's almost like you're saying, yeah, I'm coming to terms with this. There's a reason for this. And yes, there may well be. But right now, don't try and tell me that you're feeling absolutely great and wonderful about things when you're feeling pretty miserable. But there was some form of plan that was maybe presented to you, or that you had, that you were going to move forward with, and it promised sort of secret levels, secret bonuses, secret a sort of, there is a hope for unforeseen circumstances for the better, or that you believe that this course of action will reveal things to you so that you are able to take more advantage. True. All of that, I think, is true. And let's face it, it was a lifeline during a really, really stressy time. But this stubbornness, and I have to assume that it's you because that's the way I read, because it's not often that, I mean, other people do creep into my readings, but not that often. So it could be somebody else's stubbornness, but I really think it's your stubbornness that you need to circumvent, because the path that you have set upon, I don't even want to say that. The path that you have set upon, you've not set upon it with the right foot. That's the way I want to say it, because there's something wrong with your methodology or something, your approach, the way that you're looking at it. And it's not until that is changed and upset by a lot of change coming to you that you get victory in this situation, whatever it is. Now, there's going to be a struggle. We've got the strength card at the bottom of the deck, and as a clarifier on the final outcome card. And interestingly, it's almost as if at the end you are returning to something good from the past. But what I'm rather feeling is it's like a second chance. It's something where you did it wrong the first time and now's your chance to do it right again. And this in and of itself also causes a lot of stress. But I think this second chance is a good thing and will be successful. We have, right, a new start is coming with the new moon. Creation, so creation of something new from the Queen of the Moon. We have success from the wisdom of the House of Night. But interestingly, on all of that, we have Simikiel, the angel of vengeance. Now, Simikiel will raise his axe for as soon as an injustice is pointed out to him, he will raise his axe on all parties concerned. And you do not invoke Simikiel unless you are whiter than white and purer than pure. Because, oh, what an awful phrase, actually. I take that back. Unless you are beyond reproach. Let's put it that way. Because his axe will turn to you as much as anyone else. So whatever this resolution, whatever this path is that you were stuck on, it's not until you see things differently. So what Spirit is bringing in here with this Princess of Wands, Page of Wands, and I'm really feeling it's like a new, as if you was given a new mission to go into a completely new role, which is probably not the one that you had envisaged. Because this is a lady in a ball gown. Well, not a ball gown, but, you know, a formal dress. Coming upon a fountain in the garden where there is a wooden sword in its scabbard, waiting for her to pick it up. Now, she doesn't look like somebody who's about to embark on ninja training, does she? You know, this is not ninja training. This is formal wear. So there is an opportunity coming in for you to change your role in a specific situation, possibly one that you were being quite stubborn about as well. So it's also, I'm doing it this way, I'm doing it this way, I'm doing it this way, and it's like Spirit comes in and goes, yeah, but have you thought about this? Because the truth of the matter is, we have Icarus here with inexperience. The truth of the matter is that maybe you don't know as much as what you think you know. And this new mission, this new role that you are encouraged to take, or even though it's not according to your plan, gives you the chance to be both proficient and learning at the same time, because the bottom of both decks are lovely. We've got the World on the main deck and the Ace of Pentacles on the clarification deck. So that new beginning is coming. But that new beginning is not coming until this stubbornness is released, removed. It's almost as if by being stubborn and being determined that you're emotionally okay about whatever it is, you are blocking your own healing. So if you need to have a good cry or shout at the stars or, you know, whatever you need to do to open those floodgates, open the floodgates and get rid, because new information is coming to you if you take this new mission, that it's the star card, it's the penny dropping. You know, it's like, that's how I go forward. And somewhere along the line, going forward is returning to the past, but getting it done better this time, doing it right this time. Because you're worried about what a burden this could be to take on, but you're also worried about what a burden this could be to not take on. And how much that would stress you out. But the thing is, these are all just chapters in your life, you know, and it looks as if it's almost like you get a chance to sort of redo something with Mercury retrograde, you know, but you get to redo it being a new person, but you have to let go of the stubbornness. And if there is somebody else's stubbornness that is blocking you, I'm going to double down. I'm going to say it's your stubbornness. But there's someone else who wants to add a little balance to your life. They want to see you have a little more balance in your life. They want to, again, here's this new mission, Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles for me is the level 1 complete, start level 2. Well, level complete, start the next level, however you want to look at it. And so somebody is making an offer to you where I think you might be tempted to go, no, I'm okay, thank you. I'm fine where I am. But you should seriously, seriously consider that offer. Because, like I say, new mission that you can take. And what I also feel is that by taking this new mission, you get to complete whatever it was you had your heart set on anyway. But just by focusing on what you've got your heart set on in this, I'm emotionally resolved about everything, you miss out on that and on the new stuff. Well, that's harsh, isn't it? But all in all, the reading's good as long as you get past that stubbornness. Because, like I say, a new start is coming. Creation, success, Ace of Pentacles, World card. Other people being aware that you are leveling up. The guidance is there for you if you'll open your eyes and see it. By focusing less on what you were stubbornly fixed on, you can achieve more. Okay, well, sorry, Libra. Right, go and watch your moon and rising signs. I imagine they will be a lot more cheerful. Oh, obviously, like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Cheers.